recording now. Okay, so what we are asked to do is we're asked to answer a bunch of questions here. All right, but first we're asked to look at a PowerPoint, and so I'm going to go through that kind of quickly. I hope it doesn't take too long. Joining two tables. The thing that's required to join two tables is the two tables have to have a common key. Every table must have the minimum requirement for every table is that it have a primary key. And so if the primary key of one table is found in another table, then those two tables can be joined. And that's what we're going to look at today. So we do these joins. We refer to them as inner joins, the primary key to a foreign key. And that's, I think we're not going to talk about too much more than that today. So we call it a join. How the join works is in the where clause, we can set one key to another. There's another way of doing it. We can actually, there is a command called join, but we're not going to worry about that, I don't think. But in the where clause, we can join the two tables with a requirement that the foreign key is the same as the value in the primary key of the other table. So when we are joining two tables, in the select clause of the SQL statement, we'll list all of the fields from both tables. Now, if during that we list a field which is found in both tables, we'll have to specify which table it is that we're getting that field from. That's a requirement in SQL. And we can do that by the table name dot, then the name of the field. The from clause, when we're joining two tables, we'll have the two tables in the from clause and separated by comma. Then the where clause, that's where we will set the primary key of the one table to the foreign key in the other table. So here's an example of that. If we wanted to, for example, from the, this is the rep table, if we wanted to get the name of the representative who was for each customer, well, how we would do that is we would have to set the representative number from the customer table equal to the representative number from the representative table. And we would then also have to sort of list in the select statement the names of the representative and also maybe the names of the customer. That way we could have a record that would show the customer and their representative with the representative name. Required to do that is that the representative number in the customer table, where it's a foreign key, is set equal to the representative number in the representative table, where it's a primary key. So this is what's happening here, is that we are listing, we've got all these columns from the two tables. From the customer table, we're taking customer number, customer name. The representative number is actually coming from the representative table, and you can see that with the dot. I mentioned that a slide ago, right? The dot means that from the representative table, get the representative number. Now we have to say the name of the table there because representative number is found in two different tables. Then the last name and the first name, they come from the which table, right? I mean, customer name doesn't say last name; it's just customer name. So that's coming from the rep table. So that's why we're able to get away with that without actually naming the table, because the only place where last name and first name are found is in the rep table. All right, so then in the from statement, notice that we have the two different tables both mentioned there, and they're separated by comma. Then in the where statement, we say the representative number of the customer table. That's why we say customer dot rep number. That means the representative number from the customer table is set equal to the representative number from the rep table, and that's why it's rep dot rep number. And this is the join. Okay, and then we've added another condition, which is kind of common. We join two tables and add another condition. When you add another condition, we just do that with an and or an or. We talked about that yesterday in the last lesson. And so here we have records from the customer table. We've given the name of their representative, but it's only giving those where the credit limit is more than $7,500. All right, so here we have, we're going to do this again, I guess, the order line table and the part table. Now, what you might notice in the order line table is the part number is mentioned in the order line table. So the part number in the order line table is a foreign key. Part number in the part table is a primary key. So if we want to get details of the part and the order together, we would have to set the part number, which is a primary key there, to the part number, which is a foreign key here. So let's see how we do that. Okay, so from the two tables, we select the order number. That's going to come from the order table, order line table. The part number. Now here we had to do a dot because part number is found in two different tables. So we had to say which table it's found from. The description is going to come from the part table. Number order is going to come from the order table. Quoted price is going to come, not sure, probably from the part table. But and the price is going to come from the part table, I think. All right, and so there's the two tables that we've got. The important thing is that these are not found in two tables. They're only found in one table, so we can just name them without saying what table they came from. But when we join the table, we have to say what table we're going to get the part number from in the join. So the order line dot part number is set to the part dot part number, and so that allows the here it's a primary key, here's a foreign key. And so we can get details of the part mixed in with details of the order. So we're able to actually name the part. And that name, as you'll remember, did not show up in the order line table. So we have to join the two tables to get that data. This is pretty common. That's called an inner join, and that's what we've been doing. And that is also found in that video that I put onto D2L, as I showed you sort of last week. It's down there about here, the customer and the order details. So if you have a look at that video, it's another example of it. Now, what you're supposed to do today is you're supposed to go, now that we've watched that video, is you're supposed to go and answer these questions. Now, some of them involve only one table, so they're easy, and some of them may involve two tables. And they have some other things that build upon the stuff that we've talked about in previous lessons. So I actually have sort of answers here. So let me see if we've got any that are joins. There's a populate. Yeah, so, but that's in lab 3. I don't see any joins. Well, that makes it easy. So it looks like there's single table queries in lab 2. So that's nice. All right, so let's have a look at some of them. List the part number, description and price for all parts. So if you look at the part table, when we created the part table, I think we did that up here. Yeah, here it is. So if you look at the fields that were there, we got part number, we got description, we got on hand, we've got class, warehouse, and price. And so we don't want all of those things. So we're not doing a select star. We're just getting the part number, the description, and the price. So we would just say select part number, comma, description, comma, price from part. And that would be it. And in fact, if you look, I've got an answer here. And that's what it is. Select part number, description, price from part. We don't have to put a where because we're going to get all of the parts, all of the parts. So the where, remember from yesterday's lesson, that one actually restricts the number of rows that we're going to get. This one, we don't want to restrict the number of rows. We want all the rows to be shown, so we don't need any where. You would need a where if you're going to join tables, but it seems like I don't see any joining happening here yet. Okay, list all the rows and columns from the orders table. That's like the easiest select statement ever, right? It's select star from, and you can see that there, right? Select star from orders. Now, I'm not going to go through all of those. I think you get the idea. If there's any particular question on those, maybe I can go through that later. But, oh, well, I will go back to that just a sec. So I think I also put a video up for you on how to get things going very quickly in, for example, in SQLite. And so all you have to do there is if you highlight, I've got all of this stuff here, and I did put this file up on D2L for you. But if you get all of that code and copy it, and then go to your SQLite, and or whatever SQL whatever SQL you're using. You could be using the one from the college, that's fine. With SQLite, you have to connect first. And once you've connected in SQLite, you can just paste that in there. And you could do this on any server for SQL, and then run it. And you'll notice that there are your tables with all the data in them. And we know the data is in them by, well, we can check with a, see, that's a lot. That was a lot of commands, right? So select star from customer, for example. Assuming that you can spell it properly, or you can click and copy from there, right? And then run it. And you see that all the data is in there. So I'm not going to go through all those answers because that would be kind of